Case against Casey Anthony. And according to those documents, Casey told detectives they weren't going to trick her into a confession. We have a team of reporters and producers sorting through 1,100 pages of new documents to bring you the most important parts. Channel 9's Kathy Bellich is live in downtown Orlando. And Kathy, these papers shed some new light on Casey's personal life and what she did after Kaylee's murder.
That's right. She was hard as nails just minutes after she was indicted for first-degree murder, even joking with detectives about the wild chase she led them on. They caught up with her that day, but she told them they'd never really catch her. And her photo bucket photos the defense wanted to keep secret show some darkly ominous thoughts shortly after Kaylee's disappearance. 10 days after Caylee Anthony's murder, before she was reported missing, Mother Casey spent hours uploading these photographs to PhotoBucket. Skeletons kissing, pictures of skulls. June 17th, the day after Kaylee's murder, she added this photo of her and her boyfriend, Tony Lazzaro. 3 days after that, she uploaded this nightclub event poster that reads, "That's done." On October 14th, moments after Casey was indicted for first-degree murder, she joked about leading detectives on a chase and running them off the road as they tried to arrest her. Orange County Detective Eric Edwards asked her to step away from the glitter and glamour to help them help her. She told him, quote, "I have had an interest in helping law enforcement from the beginning. Unfortunately, my hands were literally tied and I was put in a position where someone's trying to trick a confession out of me. That's not going to happen." She said she's never shied away from talking to them, saying, quote, "I have an open mind when it comes to things. I try to keep an open mind when it comes to things, but if I'm innocent, that's as far as it goes. I'll take this as far as I need to prove my innocence, which I guess is my point in all of this. I'm not running." Investigators found this dreamy photo of Kaylee that we've seen before, which Casey had uploaded to her PhotoBucket account on June 29th. But this one had a heart pasted onto it, like the heart sticker investigators say was intentionally stuck to the duct tape over Kaylee's mouth. Now, on June 26th, the day before her car was towed from the Amscot, the new documents show she had uploaded this template for her new tattoo, and apparently her new life without Kaylee says La Vita Bella, which means beautiful life in Italian. Reporting live in downtown Orlando, Kathy Bellich, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Casey's lawyer didn't have much to say about the new evidence today. Jose Baez released this statement late this afternoon. It says, quote, "We are going to reserve comment on discovery releases until those times when the discovery is of some importance to the real evidence in this case."
An expert botanist thinks Kaylee's remains could have been in the area near the Anthony home for as long as 6 months. Dr. David Hall examined the scene on Suburban Drive, as well as pictures of the plastic bag that held the remains. Dr. Hall says growth in the area and tiny roots found on the plastic bag suggest the skeletal remains had been there 2 to 6 months before they were discovered in December. We're looking over 1,100 pages of documents here, and there's still plenty to go over, including a meeting detectives set up between Casey's brother and her ex-boyfriend. We'll have more on that on Eyewitness News at 6.
Developing right now in the case against Casey Anthony, revealing new evidence showed her being coy with the FBI, promising not to give up a confession, and her determination to prove her innocence.
And new since 5, we found Casey's boyfriend was on an undercover mission for investigators to find out what Casey's brother knew back in July. The crews involved our team coverage meticulously combed through 1,100 pages of evidence today to make sure you hear everything that's new and important in this case. And we start with Channel 9's Kathy Bellich and that wiretapped meeting. Kathy?
That's right. Casey's brother Lee actually asked to meet with her boyfriend Tony Lazzaro after she was arrested the first time. Lee was trying to play detective, but it was actually Tony who was working with investigators, agreeing to wear a wire and agreeing to let them tap his cell phone, too. Remember the East Orlando Target store where Casey Anthony went on a shopping spree just days after Kaylee disappeared? Her boyfriend, Tony Lazzaro, secretly met with detectives behind that Target to get him wired up for his meeting with her brother Lee on July 24th. Tony met him at another location. Both were digging for information, but Lee didn't know detectives were listening in as it was happening. Lee told Tony Casey never talked about a nanny, but tried to bolster Casey's story by saying he thought he remembered a Zenaida who hung out at the Anthony home. Lazaro also told Orange County Detective Eric Edwards that sometime during that month, no one but Casey knew Kaylee was missing. He woke at his apartment to find Casey on the edge of the bed crying, watching the last video ever taken of Kaylee with her great-grandfather on Father's Day. The detective asked whether it was a gutbuster cry. Tony said it was pathetic and said he'd seen Casey cry harder when he joked about going back to New York. When she was arrested for first-degree murder on October 14th, she told detectives, quote, "I can honestly say that whatever questions you will ask, I will consider before I answer anything. I don't want to be obligated to answer at that moment. I'll take this as far as I need to prove my innocence." Now, most of us have seen this dreamy photo of Kaylee before, but when Casey uploaded this picture into her Photo Bucket account 2 weeks after Kaylee was murdered, it had this heart pasted on, just like the heart sticker that investigators believe was intentionally stuck onto the duct tape that was stretched over Kaylee's mouth. Reporting live in downtown Orlando, Kathy Bellich, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Today's evidence also contained a revealing interview between investigators and private investigator Jim Hoover. Hoover assisted the Anthony's private investigator and was the man behind the camera in that controversial videotape of the crime scene where Kaylee's remains were found. Channel 9's Jeff Deal is live at that crime scene right now. And Jeff, Hoover alleged that both Casey and Cindy had some uncomfortably close relationships with men behind the scenes.
Yeah, you're right. He talked about Casey Anthony and Jose Baez in a situation where he was told they got unusually close during a jailhouse visit. He also talked about Cindy Anthony growing close with Dominic Casey. Dominic Casey, you may remember, is the other private eye who we showed you video of in these woods. He was in these woods long before investigators found Kaylee's remains here. In an interview with Orange County Sheriff's Office and FBI investigators, private investigator Jim Hoover revealed while they were recovering Kaylee's remains, the Anthony family was dining at the Ritz-Carlton with Jose Baez and a planner from ABC News. Around that time, he claims to have had intimate talks with the depressed George Anthony, where George told him he didn't know if he and Cindy would be together after all of this was over because they both felt they had thrown Casey under the bus. He went on to say that Cindy Anthony was touching hands and seemed to be growing close with Dominic Casey. Dominic Casey is the other private eye seen in this video going through the woods where investigators later found Kaylee's remains. One of the more bizarre things we found, you may remember this famous scene from the movie Lady and the Tramp when the two dogs are eating spaghetti and meat in the middle. In the Hoover interview transcript, Hoover claims Dominic Casey told him he was at the Orange County Jail when Casey and her attorney Jose Baez shared a piece of red licorice in much the same way. He also revealed in the hours Dominic Casey spent with Casey Anthony at the jail, she never once talked about Kaylee, saying she never even mentioned her name. And you can see Kaylee's memorial is still out here at the crime scene. To give you an idea of the frustration of the family, Hoover also told investigators one day after someone put a cross on the family lawn, Cindy was upset about the situation, and he says that she took that cross back to the backyard and started beating it with a baseball bat. Reporting live in Orange County, Jeff Deal, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
At least half of the 1,100 pages of evidence dealt with thousands of phone calls from Casey's phone and hundreds of texts revealing her friends' reactions to what was happening. The paperwork also documented dozens of alleged Kaylee sightings around the state, all investigated by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement.